Welcome back.
To what? Ugly on the inside. I am live from New York. Val is live from New York. We just don't want to hang out with each other. I think you're like down the street. Are you in Brooklyn or are you in Manhattan?
I'm in Brooklyn, daddy. I'm a Brooklyn daddy. I'm not a Manhattan daddy like you.
Anyways, you look like you just got back from my camp.
Yeah. So look, this is my new look. Since I'm not going anywhere on vacation in the summertime, I don't think so. I think this is going to be my look. So I want to feel like I'm always traveling, but I'm not traveling. If that makes sense.
You kind of look like one of those like nightclub guys in Vegas who travels with like a sponsor, but you never see them. Like a liquor brand takes them on vacation. You have very festive vibes, but I don't pay my own way.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like I have a rich billionaire friend that just takes me out on trips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think those guys pipe each other?
I have a feeling that sooner or later, I think they start piping each other, and I think even sooner than later. Because I have a feeling that the billionaire guys are kind of like, yo, honestly, I'm not even feeling this girl anymore, just rock me out. Just pipe me.
Yeah, especially if I'm paying for you, right? At the end of the day, if I'm flying a guy out, you're a woman. If I pay for your flight, I'm entitled to a blowjob.
Thank God you never asked me for one, because you used to pay for my flights all the time.
Oh, I have a tab system.
You used to pay for all my flights, so thank God I didn't have to suck any cock.
Oh my God, dude, I was hanging out at camp and one of my friends, she was walking around and we were just discussing what it's like to like date in New York City. And she said she feels so bad that men have to buy girls drinks all the time and spend like $300 on a date. She's like, I feel bad that you guys have to do that. I'm like, yeah, that's why I demand sex. Right? It's a barter system. And be like, no one owes you anything. I'm like, then I don't owe you a meal. Right? Yeah. Why is the meal worth less than a blowjob? In most cases, food is way more important than head. So what I'm giving you is actually more value, right? If I'm feeding you, I'm nurturing you, I'm caring for you. You can starve to death without me. I don't really need the blow. Your gift is actually less important than my gift.
Yeah, I agree. Food is a necessity. Blowjobs are not.
Right. So if I'm giving you a necessity, it's time to give me a blowjob. I mean, ask a girl, would you rather buy me dinner the next time or would you rather suck my dick? Because you tell me what's more valuable. And they'll be like, I'd rather suck your dick. And you're like, yeah, because you don't want to spend the money because that's a way bigger gift.
But they would say, I'd rather not go on a date with you next.
Good. I don't want to date you either then. That's like what girls don't understand is like, I don't want that either. Like, I think women have underestimated how easy it is to get laid, especially now. That if you have like standards, you're going to die alone this day and age. You're probably going to die alone.
Yeah, for most women, standards is not going to work out well.
And they're usually double standards.
Yeah, exactly. We live in a society where women want traditional men, but don't want to do traditional things. That's the issue.
Right.
So it's like, hey, you want traditionally to be paid for, to be catered to, gifts, this, that, and the third, but you don't want to clean, you don't want to cook, you don't want to do a lot of things that are traditional, and all of a sudden, it's not good for you. It's like, it's a big deal. So if that's the big deal, then the guy shouldn't be traditional either.
Yeah, or I'm just going to call you trans because you're acting like a dude.
You're acting like a dude. You're transitioning.
Yeah, I don't like that behavior. I like
me neither. I like reciprocation.
All reciprocation. Like if you buy me dinner, I'm going to eat your pussy.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. I know. I understand. That's how it works.
I agree. Listen, I don't know. Speaking of billionaires, I don't know if you heard the story, but there was a guy at a polo match, and he was a billionaire. He swallowed a bee. It stung him, and he had a heart attack. Can you imagine?
When you hear that shit, those are like poor people problems. Like when you hear billionaires dying, you're like, I thought you guys had everything locked in.
It's crazy, bro. And he said, he's like, I think I swallowed something. And then boom, heart attack.
Is it directly from the bee? What is it, stinging inside him and he had anxiety? Is that like an allergic reaction?
Well, I think this like bee, the bee stinging him, I think it puffed everything up, and I think he had I think it's a reaction to the bee, and he just had a heart attack. To die like that is crazy. My mom goes to me, she's like, yeah, well, the bee doesn't know if he's a billionaire or not. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
That's the beauty of bees. Maybe we should just release bees into America and just kind of like get rid of a few of these billionaires.
Releasing the bees wouldn't be such a bad thing for us. Not for nothing.
Basically, he just had. He probably was allergic.
Yeah, and he didn't know about it.
I mean, my dad in Russia said he was eating a sandwich, a bee landed on it, and it stung his tongue.
That's scary.
But also, like, I haven't gotten a bee sting since I was 13.
I got a bee sting. You know what? One thing that was really crazy, I almost died from a jellyfish. I had a allergic reaction to jellyfish sting.
Oh, that's my biggest fear about going in the ocean. It's not sharks. I can see a shark. It's the invisible jellyfish stinging me, and you're like, "Ugh." Did you piss on it?
No, but everything started closing up. I couldn't swallow. I couldn't breathe. It was
You're supposed
pretty
to drink
crazy.
pee. You're supposed to drink pee then.
I don't know what the fuck happened. My mom somehow got me out of it, but she got scared.
This was in Ukraine?
This was in Brooklyn when we first got here, like the first 2 years.
You sure it wasn't like a plastic bag with AIDS on it? Something in the fucking Coney Island beach you went to?
Nah,
there's no jellyfish in Coney Island.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. There was a.
You probably stepped on a syringe. Didn't realize.
Probably was heroin.
Yeah,
That
fucking
if that's what heroin feels like, I don't want it.
Oh, I can't wait to try heroin.
Oh man, but like building up your life, becoming a billionaire, and then dying like that is crazy.
That's my fear. You brought that up. I was like, if I ever become wealthy and I die, like my luck, I'll die like a week later.
Yeah. Shut up. It's literally the same thing that happened with your documentary. Documentary released 2 months later. Just got fucking clapped.
I was like, oh my God, N-word, we made it. And then, okay, never mind, back to the streets.
Fucking luck, bro. I agree with that. Yeah.
Do you believe in that? Do you believe that the universe works for some people? I do believe the universe conspires against me constantly. And that might sound like a salty, old, bitter man. And, I should be controlling my own fate. But I do definitely feel... So here's the thing. I've been talking a lot of shit about Donald Trump, but I also post the stuff that I think is funny. Like we make merch that makes fun of him, merch that rides with him. Right. It's just I don't really have a,
Well, you don't have a camp. You're going with whatever's the funniest at the moment.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm an unethical business, right? I'm just doing whatever it takes to make money. And if it's funny, that's my boss. My boss is funny. Donald Trump Jr. follows me, and I worry that if I make fun of his dad too much, that he's gonna tell the IRS to re-audit me. You don't think about that, but that family is crazy enough to be yo, they might deport me. They can remove my citizenship. Because I technically got it through my mom. So I didn't even, I was too young to apply, to take the test or whatever. So you get it as a kid through your parents. I'm deportable.
No, I don't think you're deportable. I think once you're already in the system, you're in the system.
It'd be fucked up if they deported me and still followed me, though.
He still follows you. Did you check? He still follows you?
Yeah. All right.
I guess that's just not making it to his algorithm for now.
I'm just gonna anytime I go wild, I'm just gonna mute my content from him just to keep the follow.
Yeah. I think you gotta block him out of it because if I was you, I would play that. I'll play the politics with that. I wouldn't want to lose JR off the contact list.
Do you think if the IRS audits me, but I'm a huge Trump supporter, I could DM him, Donnie Jr., and be like, "Hey, dude, can you just clean this up for me real quick, please? You love my memes, you love my merch."
Nah. I don't think if you ever put that in writing, he would ever do that for you. I think it would have to be something that if you get close to him in person, then you can talk to him.
What if I did a disappearing message? DM disappearing message.
Still no good, because then Meta can pull it up. There could be this, there could be that, there could be so many things.
I mean, that family does not care. Who's going to yell at them?
They do.
They do. They don't care. Dude,
they still want to keep.
They got the Trump phone coming out. You saw that garbage?
I'm buying it.
Yeah, good luck. You're going to be an Android
No, I'm buying it, and I'm buying it, and I'm not using it.
Did you hear someone bought it yesterday? So the pre-orders are taken, and it's supposed to be $100 pre-order. And he's like, they charged me $67 for some reason, and they're like, we'll mail it to you when it's ready. And he goes, you guys didn't even take my address yet. It's definitely a scam because it's running on a Verizon network, and it's $47 a month, bro. Cricket is $19, and then they're like. And did you see they got herbed a little bit because they posted the coverage map for and it still said Gulf of Mexico in it? And they're like, oh,
No way.
Dad's not going to be too happy that the kids are promoting Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, but that's just marketing team. He doesn't give a
It's
fuck
just
about
dumb.
this shit.
I don't understand. I mean, here's the thing. Like, we always go back to this, but like, name one product the family has produced that hasn't flopped. They did steaks. They probably did cologne. They've done vodka. Everything you put the Trump name on goes out of business. And at the end of the day, dude, ain't nobody being like, oh, here's my Trump gold-plated cell phone with my plan that barely works.
I don't know enough about their financials or like as far as like what businesses succeeded or didn't, so I can't even fucking give you an
name
examples
one
'cause
item. When's the last time you bought a Trump item?
Well, I made money on the Trump coin.
Yeah,
so.
that's not a Trump item, though, dude. At the end of the day, like, when you buy, are you going to trust them with a car if they decide to release a car? No, because they're in the business of selling you something, not making something good, right?
Yeah,
So,
I would never buy anything to wear or to use. I'd buy it as part of history. I'd buy the Trump like phone that's part of history just to keep it inside like a box and just keep it in the house. And then 20 years, give it to my kid and be like, okay, this is worth anything or memorabilia, whatever. Go ahead, you sell it.
they promised that the phone would be, it's American made. It's going to be an American made cell phone made by a Chinese company because they found out it's just an Android phone that already exists that they were like, yo, just make it gold. Obviously. Who in America is fucking putting cell phones together?
Well, that's one.
We
one
can
problem
barely put
in the world.
IKEA furniture together.
Yeah, it's one problem in America. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work.
I don't agree with you. I think people want to work as long as they're compensated fairly. Someone had a good analogy. Would you flip burgers for $9 an hour? No. But would you flip burgers for $200,000 a year? Yeah. So suddenly you want to work.
Yeah, but
it's
who
a
the
money.
fuck? That means the average person that's buying those burgers has to be spending fucking a lot of money for companies to be paying $200,000.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that every person in America deserves a wage that allows them to live without hitting poverty?
No.
So you think that a mom shouldn't work somewhere and make enough money to support herself and her kid?
Well, I also don't know if the mom mismanaged having kids.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You also have to plan. You also have to plan correctly to have kids. I can't what. Like, I have friends that have kids, and I'm like, you're an idiot. Why would you have kids? You're not ready for this.
Right,
you're a fucking moron.
But there's people who are single without kids that can barely afford living because dude, our minimum wage hasn't gone up in God knows how long.
I mean, I agree with all these things, but it's just like at the same time, it's like, well, how do you argue accountability for each individual, but on a general scale?
Why do these companies need this much profit? Why can't a company just maintain revenue instead of every year they need to make more? Why don't you just be content and then people can actually afford to live? Look, they raised the minimum wage in California. In-N-Out prices didn't go up.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, listen,
They found a way to absorb the minimum wage, right? Because they're like, dude, we've made enough money. We're still going to make $1 billion a year. We don't need 1.2 this year. I'd rather have employees that are happy and working, and we don't have a high turnover. It's crazy. I mean, this is never going to get solved. So, especially by two retards on the Zoom.
Yeah, but you're not wrong though. These questions are great questions, but my whole thing is like,
I can't solve it.
I just know I can't solve it, let alone my opinion is not going to matter. And not only that, but I'm the type of person that's like waking up every day, working 14 hours a day, doing a bunch of things, accountable for everything. So for me to sympathize with people that make mistakes on the daily life because their logic is just not computing certain things, I don't know how to reason with those people either. So that's my whole thing too. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I agree and disagree. I believe in the concept of helping people that are doing worse than me. If I have,
I believe in that concept. I believe in that concept only if I obviously see that the person is trying. But if you're waking up and you're doing coke at 9 a.m., hanging out, doing drugs, and being a useless person, and I'm like, why am I the one?
You just described Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, why would I wake up every day taking accountability and then I feel bad for you? I can't feel bad for you. With the people that I see that are protesting all day long and just soaking in the sun, drinking coffee all day, I'm working. I can't sympathize with you. What the fuck am I sympathizing with? What the fuck? I can't feel bad for you. I'm tired. I don't want to be tired.
And that's the problem with this country is we look at protesters as like, I'm working, you should be at work, but you've taken a sick day. I could take a sick day to protest what I believe in. If my mom got deported, I'm going to go and stand in the street and riot. Like, if my mom got deported tomorrow, I can find a day off to go do this. So like to say like, oh, the protesters have time. It's like, so what? How many times have you been on vacation in Italy and someone's like, oh, this fucking bum gets to travel all over Europe while I got to work, right? So like you're kind of pointing at like the one time for a weekend a bunch of protesters got together. But like, so what? How many times are you doing jack shit?
If my mom gets deported, I'm definitely not going to find use in protesting. I'm going to figure out either I'm moving with her or I got to go fly out with her. I wouldn't even go and protest because that's not going to do anything for me.
Yeah, but but this country has shown that protesting works, right? It's happened over the years. We've adjusted. Women are allowed to vote, right? Black people aren't slaves, right? We constantly move forward and get rid of bad shit, and that usually comes with violent protest. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just go, okay, I'll go back to Africa. He went, go fuck yourselves. We're staying here, and you better get used to black people having normal rights. Right?
You're right.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because, like, personally, I don't believe in protesting either. Like,
you're right, though. I agree with what you're saying.
And when people throw paint at a painting, that to me is the dumbest form of protest.
But to them, they think that that's the best thing ever.
Because you're drawing attention. It's like saying I raped someone for charity. Right? You're like,
it's like the United Healthcare guy killing the guy in United Healthcare.
No, I agree with that guy. That's okay. You can kill that.
Yeah, you see, but it's like if you agree with one thing, you don't disagree with. It's just like it becomes a whole thing.
Yeah, but also I'm okay with scaring a few rich guys to acting.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, I also agree. Yes, in theory, it is wrong to kill a guy with a family. Blah blah blah. I get that, but.
But it worked.
I mean, did it though? Did anything change? Really, nothing. That's the crazy part. They executed a CEO and nothing happened. And
Look, let me show you. I'll show you how it changed.
That's why we got to release bees, dude. You release some bees?
Yeah. This is what it did. It went from 587 to look at it right now.
Yeah. But the insurance industry didn't change. All they're going to do is deny more claims because they're making less money. At the end of the day, right? It's not like they're like, oh, we better get our shit together and start approving more claims. Like, all they're doing behind closed doors is going, fuck, we're losing more money, right? They're not like, it's time to grow a conscience. And that's the problem with our economy.
So look, can I ask you something? So look, let me ask you something. So I was confused about this. I was in Silver Lake, and I finished my run, and I see this young girl walking with her dad. And she looks like, short haircut, like no makeup. You could tell she's all natural, GMO free, whatever it is. Her dad's walking, and her dad goes, well, I'm a liberal capitalist. And his daughter or girlfriend, whatever, goes, well, that's unfortunate. And they continue talking. My whole thing is, I think that's a very, upside down take, right? Because the thing is, there's obviously liberal capitalists, but my whole thing is liberal and capitalists don't really go together for me, because capitalism is built off of fucking people. There's nothing liberal about capitalism. Capitalism is you're making money off the weak. That's just at the end of the day. That's just the truth.
So then I would be like, I'm a liberal entrepreneur, right? Like Ben and Jerry's is a liberal capitalist company, right? They make profits, but they make ethical profits, right? They support liberal shit all the time, and they use that money to fund whatever they believe in, right? I agree, but it's hard because it's like the same reason sports is such a fucking, my team wins, your team loses, I'm the better, you suck, but it's a gray area. Like, some days I'm liberal, some days I'm conservative, and some days I'm a capitalist, and other days I want to give away to charity. I think it's just we're complex. You can't just be like.
And this is why AI is gonna. This is why we're gonna have robots.
Dude, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Kill us already. I'm so ready. And I was at camp this weekend, and I completely unplugged from the world, which was the best thing to do this weekend when fucking bombs were flying and the parade was flopping, and I'm in the woods, and I'm like, would it be wild if the whole world got annihilated except this camp, and we'd have to rebuild society?
That's fire. I think about that all the time. Because the thing is, I'll be honest with you, I do feel the same way. It's like, yo, what is this world? What is this? I go on my phone, I'm like, yo, this shit is sad.
Someone's like, oh, we bombed the hospital. I'm like, why? Why? Why did you wake up today and need more money to do this?
every country is on fire, bro. On fire. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I don't want to see this.
You know how
This
good
is-
you know how good Greece is? Netanyahu escaped to Greece. His plane, he's in Greece right now, I heard.
I honestly, that's a good move. I would have done the same thing.
It's luckily we're not old, we're too old to be drafted, right?
I think I could still get drafted.
Nah, just tell them you're trans, dude. Just literally be like, "Oh my god." Like
They draft trans people now.
be like, "Hey, if I join the military." No, they don't. They literally banned from the military now.
Oh, really?
Trans and gays, they're trying to fucking beat it. Which is kind of like I always say, like when I hate people who are so. I hate this term woke because it describes a large variety of shit. But like, I hate the wokeness of like include me in everything. But be like, guys, how about some things I don't want to be included in? Like, you know what I mean? Like when they're like, oh, we want equal rights, we want to fight in the wars. I'd be like, shut up.
Why would you want that?
It's
Yeah,
like-
why would you want that?
That's why Republicans got to trick trans people to be like, hey, we don't want trannies picking our vegetables. And then trannies will line up like, well, what do you mean we can't pick vegetables now? Be like, all right, here you go. Go ahead. You know what? You're allowed to pick vegetables. We should replace Mexicans with trans people since trans people want to be included in everything. Guess what? Now you're trans slave labor. That's how we
I
solve
agree.
it. We should replace
See-
Mexicans with trans.
Psychological warfare. That's what I call it.
Yeah, you
That's-
got to
that's-
convince them they want it, something that you want them to do. That's the best ways, right? The best salespeople make you think you want it.
Yeah,
That's
because
how
you have to find a group of people, and you have to find their weakness and something they're insecure about. And when you poke it, then all of a sudden they do it. That's
I
the
bet
best.
I bet you I could sell out Madison Square Garden with Kirill's party, no trannies allowed.
Yeah, because it would enrage people.
There would be 1,000, like millions of trannies outside MSG boycotting me. I'd be like, come inside, I'm kidding.
And not only that, but you could sell merch outside.
Yeah, and we only have to use one bathroom the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, there's also another thing that I wanted to show you. Hold on a second.
Also, I don't understand why trans men become trans women and literally are like, I want to be in the women's bathroom. Like, bro, the women's bathroom is notoriously disgusting compared to the men's bathroom. Like,
Disgusting.
you can just go and sit and piss like a woman in the men's room.
I don't get what's the hurry to even go into some shit like that. I fucking hold on one second. This. Okay, so I don't know if you saw this, but a man rushed to hospital after stuffing 15 hard-boiled eggs up his ass.
For what was
Yo,
he
can
trying to do?
I ask you? Can I ask you? Do people just get excited or like attached to stuffing shit in their ass? Like I don't understand what this passion is to stuff random items in your ass.
Well, that's where your G-spot is.
But 15 boiled eggs, bro.
I mean,
First of all,
that's
how do
just-
you even
that's
get it
nature,
up there?
That's nature's anal beads. They're just not connected. But you know what's nuts is it's like being a pedophile, right? It's just like that guy's born that way. He just wants eggs in his asshole. I was watching a movie yesterday and they were talking about serial killers and they were saying that a serial killer, you know how you are turned on by boobs or a gay guy might be turned on by a dick. They're like serial killers are turned on by fear. Like that's how they come. Right? They get turned on not by titties, not by ass, not by sexual thing, is the fear in your eyes. And you're like, dude, that's such a like you might as well kill these people. Like because that's incurable. Like you can't cure
Damn,
no
so I
amount of
have to stop. So that means I'm a serial killer.
there's no amount of shock therapy that's going to get me to hate boobs, right? So like if boobs all of a sudden became a crime, kill me, lock me up. Like I'm never going to stop liking boobs, right? So if that becomes illegal and serial killers, I don't know why we should just kill everyone, honestly. We need like we said, we need a test. Everyone should get a test in the mail. And then if you fail, you're out. You're out of the country.
I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to have a situation like the Ice Age one more time. It's going to cleanse the planet, and then we're going to have to just recoup a new generation of people.
I think I'd survive. I think whatever's coming, my body is a well-oiled machine. On the outside, I'm disgusting, but I'm like a 1997 Honda Civic that's still running. Right? On the outside, I'm a beater, but underneath, 300,000 miles, still going.
You think you would survive most of the things that would come our way?
I think I wouldn't survive like someone chopping my head off. But if all of a sudden something more about, okay, if someone poisoned our water supply, they'd be dead in 30 seconds, I would just get diarrhea and flush it out. I just know. This is just I'm a cockroach. It's going to be me and a bunch of cockroaches at the end of the world.
I do have to give it to you. For the fact that you eat only once a day, you really somehow keep yourself alive. And I've seen you do like 12-hour work days and you literally just have like 2 eggs the whole day. And I'm like, yo, this guy's mental.
I'm a 2 egg up the ass guy, man. It's not that weird.
The 15 eggs up the ass is crazy though, no?
How big is your asshole? 15 eggs?
Also to be stuffing fucking hard-boiled eggs, how does that not break?
Dude, how are you standing in your kitchen boiling eggs? Like, do you know the cool off period? You know what the cool off period is for buying guns?
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I want to buy a gun. They're like, yeah, in 2 days, because they want you to cool down. Because if you run in here angry, you're going to go kill someone. So I need you to have a little cool off period. When I'm boiling 15 eggs, thinking about putting them in my ass, that 8 minutes of boiling, the cool off period should have and be like, what am I doing? Why am I? And are they put in hot or cold?
I forgot about the cool off period is crazy because yeah, if you're horny for 1 second and then you just cool off, you don't want to have sex anymore. Sometimes.
Yeah, Andrew Dice Clay had the best joke ever. He's like, I wanted to go buy a car. Instead, I jerked off all over myself and saved 60 grand. And you're like, that's it. I just need a little clarity. A little clarity.
Yeah, and also the energy.
Jerk off before every financial decision. Like, before you propose to your girl, you should masturbate. And then be like, is she worth it?
But that's why most people don't invest and make money. It's because they're like, yo, I just don't want to do this. It's too much work. And just after they jerk off, they're just like, I don't want to deal with this.
You're saying people don't want to invest their money because they're jerking off too much?
Because you're saying to make financial decisions. It's like, yo, right before they're like, oh, let me buy some Bitcoin. They jerk off. They're like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
You know what
I mean, I'll
like,
be honest with you. My crypto portfolio has gone down. So probably I should have jerked off a year ago.
I mean, because you have Dogecoin, right? That's why
I got Bitcoin and a bunch of shit. It's just all stupid. I literally have 20 grand sitting in there that hasn't budged. I might as well put it all in Apple like a retard.
I mean, you could still put it in Apple. You might as well do it now because Apple's down. So by the time it shoots back up to 240, you're going to make some money.
What's Apple at?
At 197. So you might as well.
195. Suck my balls. Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's down 22% in 6 months. I'm buying it. This is the moment. Generational wealth. Here I come.
I'm telling you, you're going to be up on Apple a lot if you keep investing.
Well, they have a new competition with the Trump phone, so their stock's probably not going to do too well.
Yo, Apple's such a monster, dude. They make so much money. Forget about their phones. They make so much money from their services. Just insane.
Dude, how about just apps? They collect a commission on apps.
Yeah.
Like, they're just a pimp. They're a digital pimp. That's all they are. They take their cut, and then they also slap you around when you misbehave. You're like, no, we don't like what your app's doing.
Yeah, they make the money they make. It's just unfair, honestly. I wish we could make money like that. Anything subscription based.
No, let's start Apple. You want to start a phone company?
We got to start doing, I think, LSD to come up with some good ideas because I think acid is the only way we can fucking come up with something decent.
It's just so hard to invent something new now, right? Like, think about, like, what are you lacking in your life that you wish there was an invention for? Do you know what's crazy? Flight travel hasn't changed, right? Like, for the last 25 years, a flight from LA to New York is the same amount of time.
Yeah. They're trying to bring those supersonic planes back. The faster planes.
I think that if I would love to see travel get faster. Because other than that, what else do you need?
You know what I would need? I would need better sleep for a less amount of time. If I could cut sleep half the amount that I need it for, like if I could sleep 4 hours a night and feel like I slept 8, oh, that would be amazing.
I can function on 4 hours of sleep.
There's no way. Because I guess it's because from working out and everything else, I think my body's just in overdrive 24/7. But I don't think I could do it. If I can create something, though, that can decrease people's sleep. Like, if you can function off 4 hours of sleep, imagine functioning off of 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, it's called cocaine. They already invented that.
But I'm saying, then you die from that sooner or later. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but we die from everything. You could die from a bee sting, my bro.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm going to start doing coke.
You know what's crazy about the bee sting? Like we might think that that's a real bee, but like, dude, you're telling me the government doesn't have drones this big yet? That like you literally could be sitting there and it just flies in and like stings you. You're like, oh, I think a bee got me, and then you just die. Like,
so crazy.
The drones we see are just the drones they let us see. Like, that's why I think those drones flying around New Jersey was their way of being like, oh, look, we got drones. They're so big and bulky. You'll know when we're coming. And then they come in with little mosquitoes. Like, that's their way of, like, distraction to be like, look, the government, we're so stupid. You'll know when our big drones are coming. And then they go in and they could fucking terrorize us.
I think you're 100% right, by the way. I wouldn't put that past them. I don't know if you ever saw the Rick Ross video where Rick Ross is like, hey, what the fuck is this shit flying around my house? It just keeps hovering, going down, up and down, up and down. It's a drone. I don't know if you've seen that video.
No, but that's you know, I'd make a good conspiracy theorist. Give me like 20 more years. I'm going to have like a radio show in the basement just talking to other creatures.
Yo, conspiracy theories do well. Mystery, zombie stories do well. Like all that bullshit. Yo, honestly though, from what I've seen, podcast views and viewership and everything kind of slowed down. A lot of podcasts are kind of
so oversaturated, dude. It's so oversaturated, and we all have the same opinions. You know, at the end of the day, it's hard to have a unique opinion, really. I
don't know if you've seen the new thing that's going on in TikTok and the video logs and stuff like that, but there's like these guys making AI animal TikToks and Reels. It's basically like a gorilla that's doing a video log, and it's basically showing you its daily life, and it's talking to you as if it's like a reel. I gotta show you this.
So I get what you're saying. It's like a day in the life of an animal, right?
Yes.
I saw one today of a girl swimming with a shark and kissing it. And people are like, see, she's been like a marine biologist for 10 years. She has a bond with the shark. And all the comments are like, bro, that's AI.
Yeah, it's hold on, I gotta show you this. This is crazy stuff. Hold on. So like, look.
If your being sent this to you, he thinks you won't be gay. It's all right, buddy. It's 2025 and Pride Month.
That's it.
We sent this,
and it's just like all day long they're just doing shit like this, and it's crazy because everyone's eating it up. They're loving it because everyone's like tired of the regular human.
Well, at this point, you're just watching a cartoon, right? It's like imagine somebody made Family Guy, but just for Instagram Reels. That's really it, right? It's just like it's a character. Someone's probably not animating it, right? AI's doing the work. They're just giving it the script, and they're like spit it out as a video, and now I can build an Instagram account by having this character that I've built. I'm okay with that. That actually seems less harmful than, hey, this is your son calling, Mom, I need $400. Will you wire it to this account because they just locked me out of my Zelle, right? And then your poor mother just goes, oh, okay, so, honey, I hope you're okay. Code words, remember? Code words.
Yeah, bro. It's just interesting to see where things are going because I'm like, what am I willing to invest into my next 30 years? Like I'm 32. Like what am I going to be okay with and enjoy when I'm 50 years old? Do I really want to use the phone as much as I'm using the phone? Do I care about AI? Do I care about watching TV? What is my next like thing that I want to enjoy for the next 30 years? Like I had fun obviously using my phone, creating content up to this point in my life and all that stuff. But after a while, it just gets annoying. So I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, so what are the next 20 years going to look to enjoy? Like what's going to be the next thing?
I think for me, at least, is I'm going to try to go as analog as possible. Like I would love to go back to having a phone that I can just text and call and maybe read Reddit. Like Reddit's the only thing I really love looking at because I don't know. It appeals to me way more, the whole community aspect of it versus, and they're not selling anything to you there, right? Reddit to me is kind of the last place on the internet where when people are posting, like, and they're promoting something, it gets like downvoted and all the natural organic shit stays at the top. So I'd love to go analog. I might become like become like a woodworker. I might get like a job from like the 1800s, honestly. I think that's what happens to rich people. Like when you make enough money, you start cosplaying as like careers from like 100 years ago. You're like, I really got into glass blowing. You're like, what?
Yeah, because you have to find something that's gonna keep you like not from, you know what I mean?
So do you think that naturally all human beings' real purpose and real desire in life is to make art? I believe so. I think if you could take any human in the world, no matter what their job is, and you were like, hey, You don't have to worry about bills. Imagine you just retired. What would you do with your life? I think a lot of people would say like, oh, I would like to pursue this, like painting, or like I said, glass blowing, or I want to work with wood, or I want to like, and it becomes more of an artistic expression instead of like, oh, I'm just going to go to the factory and stamp out parts and get a paycheck, right? Like that's a means to an end. But I think most human beings' main desire is to create something from within them, whatever it may be.
I don't disagree, but I think another factor of that is I think people get to a certain age and they're trying to preserve the most meaningful relationships in their life because they're like, damn, this is going to fade away, or my mom is getting old, or my dad's getting old. And then the other purpose is like, what do I create that I can pass down, or what do I have that I can pass down that people can remember my name? Because then you feel like small. Because then you feel like, all right, I just spent 20 years working at, let's say, a JP Morgan. And then when you get to 45, you're like, what the fuck did I just do? I didn't pass nothing down. I didn't draw anything that's going to live in somebody's living room. I didn't do anything that's going to be around forever. So what can I do that people will be like, oh, you know, this guy Val, because after like 2 generations, I think people forget about it. Nobody remembers like, oh my God, like this was my grandpa.
I don't talk about my great grandpa.
That's
right?
what I'm
like,
saying.
I don't even know what he did, right? We're so far removed. You're right. From this, unless your grandpa invented something that gave you generation wealth, then you're all like, "Yo, great grandpa's the G," right? But if your great grandpa's a bum, you ain't talking about him. So
see,
I guess
like
right.
I talk about my great grandpa because of what he did, what he suffered through. Like he got shackled up by Stalin, and he served in that prison for 8 years. He served in Chernobyl. If I go down that rabbit hole, I'll mention him. But other than that, am I going to pass that down to my kids and they're going to remember that?
They're not
Probably
gonna
not.
care. They're not going to care. They're like, "What are you talking about? Who the fuck is Stalin?"
But let's say I funded something that was still living on. Let's say I funded Apple and I was one of the co-creators of Apple. They'd be like, yo, my dad was a co-creator of Apple. He was a beast.
Yeah,
Because
but
it's
if
gonna be
you that's only because generational wealth you've passed down, right? So now the family looks at you as like this great patriarch, right? They're like, this is the guy that set up our family for generations. But if like you said, if you just work at JP Morgan and you don't become wealthy somehow from it, and you just have a regular job, there is this desire of where is my, it's like a cave painting, right? You look at the cave painting, you're like, even they made an impact, right? That shit's everyone looks at it in a museum, blah, blah, blah. So what is my contribution to life? And it's usually artistic. It's never like, oh my God, like, let me go and fucking like start another business. I think it's more about, but even a business is an artistic expression of your mind, right? If you're, I don't know.
It's a great topic actually, because like, not to be serious or anything, but
Yeah.
I think about this all the time. Cause I'm like, yo, what's the point of this maximum effort 24/7 when, we have no control over the economy. We have no control of the outcome of the wars. We have no control of anything. We don't have control of the currency. We don't have control of anything. So like, let's say you try so hard and then 50 years old, you finally made your first million, you have some money, and then boom, you're about to age out. Your kids are there and nobody cares. Everyone's like, all right, thanks, bro. See you later. So if you don't have a well-balanced life and you didn't enjoy anything, and then on top of your head, you're like, what did I pass down? It's a sad thought. It's like, yo, what the fuck did just happen? You know what I mean? I just rocked out for 25 years. I had a great ride. I thought it was doing my damn thing. And then you wake up and then people are like, like you were cool 15 years ago. Like, thanks for opening up a cool barbershop. But there's cooler barbershops now. So
that's not a legacy to you, right? That's not your legacy. But I think that's why people turn to religion too, is because they ran out of time in life and they're like, well, there's got to be something more. It's like a reincarnation thing. Like, I'll go there and it'll mean something, right? And they look at but that's the crazy part about capitalism. You look at it and you're like, this is what we were meant to do. Like, think about millions of years of this planet being around, and then we come along. We're just an animal. We're just an animal, like a wolf, like a bear, like a frog, and we're like, this is with our gift of speech, our gift of being able to walk, having opposable thumbs, having a brain that can literally look at us. Like, in the last 100 years, we went from literally riding horse and carriage to fucking going to Mars, right? Like, think about that in 100 years, and you're like, this is the best we could do, is just go to work and pay taxes. Like, dude, that's insane. Like, that's the best we could come up with.
So dumb because it's not even that we came up with that. It's obviously the top percent that's like, yo, how do we benefit off of all these idiots?
Modern day
You know what I
slavery.
mean?
It's just a modern day version of slavery, right? Except we're getting paid a little bit.
And that's why it's like,
At least slaves got room and board.
yeah, bro. It's a fucking. You're right. I don't know. I personally think this topic is really wild because it's like, yo, it's like we get to an age where like, yo, we worked hard, right? So you're like, yo, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy what we worked for, right? And then by the time you're like, fuck, but do I have kids? But then if you have kids, guess what? There ain't no fucking vacation. The shit is gonna be fucking hard.
That's why I don't want kids, because I'm like, I'm working so hard that at the end of this, I don't want to work hard again. Like, I don't want that. I want the last 30 years of my life, and I'm not even going to have the last 30 years of my life, from 50 to 80? Like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to retire at 50. Probably not. So say 55 to 75, I have a good 20 years. After 75, dude, I'm Donnie. I'm shitting in my pants. I'm falling upstairs. I'm Joe Biden. I'm Donald Trump. I'm all these old people. Like, you look at them, you're like, you really have 20 good years left. Me, I have probably 25 good years left. Like, good years where I'm not, hopefully, in pain.
Dude, you're fucking right. I talk about this to the guys all the time, and it sucks because the transition from like 27 to 30, it's like that, and then wait, you're like whoa, you're like having mad fun, boom, 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 and then when 30 creeps up, you have to make a decision now, because now this is the decision 10 years right here where you're like, all right, am I postponing things and then just like, I'll get to it, I'll get to it.
How old are you, Val?
I just turned 32 in March, but boom, the year's about to fly again.
Dude, you're literally gonna wake up. Dude, I've lived in New York for 8 months now, right? You're gonna turn 40 and not realize it. And that's not like scaring you in any way. It's just,
true.
I think like life moved slower in my 20s and life moved really fast in my 30s. And then life's moving pretty fast in my 40s. I'm like, damn, I'm 41 already. Esther's 42 in 2 months. It's, man, I don't know. This has been like a therapy episode. Less giggles and more like, oh my god.
No. But there's still, it's still, we still like. I think it's laughable.
I like the therapy episode.
But I think it's also, I think it resonates with a lot of people. I feel like we're not the only ones that are keep track of how fast time is passing by, especially when you're doom scrolling. I feel like yesterday I went to sleep at 11:50. I scrolled for a little bit. Boom, at 1:30. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I gotta go to bed. What the fuck? So it's like, I think a lot of people are feeling the same way, but they just don't know how to explain these thoughts, or even understand that they're even happening until they hear it and they go, oh shit, this is fucking wild.
I wish life moved at the speed of when you land at your destination and they don't have a gate ready for you and you're like, this feels like 9 hours and it's like a 10-minute wait, right? I want life to move at that pace. Not the pace of I'm on vacation in Greece. So I go on vacation in Greece. I'm like, whoop, what? Right? But I land at LAX and my gate's not ready and we have to taxi around for 10 minutes. I literally am like, this has felt like 9 years. I want that. I want that scale of time.
I want that relativity as well. But yo, what I'm trying to say is that this is why I said I want to just create something that I can sleep less and have more time.
Yeah. I'm just mad that my parents didn't work harder.
My brother is the same way.
I'm like, yo, why couldn't you guys become rich so that I could then just be like, all right, I'm going to pursue my dreams, but not really care. If my parents were rich, no joke, I'd have a wife and kids.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because then everything becomes just at ease.
Yeah, can you imagine the things you would do if you just went, I want it, and you got it? Think about it. Think about all the experiences, every concert dude, there's times in my life where I couldn't afford certain things that I wish I could have done, right? And it's just life didn't, work out like that. And then you see a bunch of fucking rich kids with money just fucking blowing their life away, and you're like,
I think I would be a drug addict though if I was a trust fund baby for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like I wouldn't have the concept of like, yo, I got to keep myself together. And then I would just fuck around one thing, another thing, and I would just keep going down the rabbit hole. And I think I would have just...
I don't think so. I think that you are... I think hard work is kind of... It's like being a pedophile. It's built into you, right? It's just like it's in your genetics, Val. And I think that no matter what, yes, you might party more, right? You're like, oh, I might get into drugs more, but that's only because you have more time. Life is a celebration when you're richer, right? Every problem is kind of solvable outside of like, people dying or, some crazy shit happening. But yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, would I have a drug problem? No, but would I drink tequila and smoke more weed and live on a boat in Greece? Fuck yeah, way more than I would here. So, but I also would work hard on even if I pursued a silly art, right? Like if
Yeah, because the thing is, at the end of the day, you're still you, and you like to push your art, and you don't give a fuck how much effort it takes.
if I was filthy rich, my parents were filthy rich. Oh my god, I'd be so loud, so much louder. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
because you
care.
know that you can get away with it.
Yeah, my mouth isn't tied to my paycheck anymore. Now my mouth is free.
I can't believe, yo, I remember when you got fucking the guys jumped you on Halloween. That was crazy.
That was nuts. I mean, do you think how rich do you have to be that you can say the N word without getting like where it doesn't affect your life? I think I would just have to be retired. I think that's why so many retired people are racist because they're like, I'm already done. I'm gonna fucking use whatever language I want. Like I don't need to play the game.
Yeah, I think like Andrew Schultz, if he was double his net worth, I think he could start saying it.
No, he could say it right now anyways. He could disappear right now and live off. His parents have money too.
You think he could say it and get away with it?
I don't think he'd get away with it. I mean, it's crazy because it depends in the context of saying it, right? Like Louis C.K. has said it.
Yeah, you're right. But he got away with it, right?
Well, no, Louis has it in a joke. He's like, he's like, I use the N-word in a completely non-derogatory way. He's like, I was at a coffee shop and this guy made me the best coffee I've ever had. And he wasn't even black. And in my head, I was like, man, this nigger made the shit out of my coffee. And he said that in a stand-up. He's like, I don't know why I wanted to use that word, but he's like, it just felt appropriate. He wasn't black. I don't hate him. He's like, but when I got this amazing coffee, I was like, damn, this nigga made the shit out of my coffee. And you're like, there's certain contexts that it's just, in the words of George Carlin, they're just words, right? The hate is in the person. It's not attached to the word as much, right? You don't care when a gay person says because the context is they're gay. That's why we don't care when black people say the N-word, right? But
yeah, you're right. You're right. I guess you gotta. Yeah. But
and Bill Burr had this whole thing. He's like, saying certain words are off limits. All you're doing is giving a roadmap to actual racists and evil people on how they can leap through the world without saying certain words, but still get to think that. You know what I mean? I'd much rather you say all the horrible shit out loud so I know what you really mean.
Me too. And not only that, but I also think that us getting locked up and not saying certain things becomes a business. I feel like it's being used also in a way where it's like, oh, like I can make money off of like scared people. It's like almost like fear. Like you sell, like don't say the N-word. You said it? Oh, that's it. You're done. Your business is over. I'm taking over your market now. We're closing you down, and assholes live forever. I'm going to start copying those shirts.
I mean, I'm just going to start taking the competition and AIing voicemails from them. Be like, oh my God, did you hear what fucking Chinatown Market just said?
Yeah. I like the other day, like I like this Asian person works in a coffee shop, and like they're a homie, and they brought me a coffee personally after they're finished with work, and they bring me the coffee. And they're like joking around doing like different handshakes, and I go like this, and then in my head I'm like, wait, that could like if I did that, somebody might get upset about that, right?
It's a sign of respect.
But I'm just fucking around. But oh shit, drink it up for me, daddy.
Yeah, I mean that's the crazy part is like, why isn't that cultural appreciation? If I bow to you, that's the same as me doing Wakanda forever or whatever they do. Right, I'm just
appreciating.
I'm sorry, that's what you do. So I mirror people. I'm a big mirror.
I like to appreciate.
Yeah,
I'm a big mirror.
I'm like, but also like, what's wrong with playful racism? Like, I just enjoy the joke. I don't find truth in humor as much as like I don't attach that much meaning. It's more about getting the joke out. Like, well, yeah. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, Ching Chong is racist, sure, but is it funny? also short.
Yeah.
They both can exist in the same world, right? Because like ching chong, ping pong, like that's hilarious. I'm sorry,
It
like
is.
that tickles the part of my brain that makes me laugh at farts, right? Like if you fart or shit your pants, that's the same part of my brain that laughs at ching chong. It's not. I don't want you to like. I don't hate Asians.
But you
if
see, that's my issue is with today is that people yell out their preferences and they say that's what it is. That's not it. What it is. It's your preference. So if you want to be called they them, that's a preference. You shouldn't tell me I have to say they them. Like it's a preference. You enjoy being called they them. I like it. Good for you. But I don't have to abide by your. It's like playing like beer pong in someone's house. Just because they tell me, oh, if you bounce it off the ground, it's 2 cups, and some people's house they say it's only 1 cup. Okay, I'm gonna play by the house rules. That's your preference.
Yeah.
I can't. You know what I mean? Like, oh, sure, but that doesn't.
I agree. It's like go to someone's house. I don't take shoes off in my house, but if you want me to take shoes off in your house, I'll take my shoes off. But honestly, here's the thing. Like, I'll make fun of the whole trans movement just because I'll just make fun of everything. But individually, I do judge people on an individual basis. I have trans friends, and if they're like, well, first of all, I don't have any people in my life that want to be called they, them. Because that's just it's like when you read a word that's like misspelled, it's just like it's clunky if I have to refer to you in a plural. Okay? And I saw a great someone posted the other day, which was funny. They're like, how come we don't call obese people they them? That's their pronoun.
That's a lot of you. It's a lot of you here. It's not just
big. You're 2 people or multiple. You're a group in one.
If you're buying 2 airline tickets under the same name, you're they them.
Yes.
It's a lot of you. And I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. The hell? I hate that. I hate when we are, the one thing I can't stand is like, I was thinking the other day, I'm like, yo, why is somebody get so angry about all these like things? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, people are getting mad that I'm not liking their preference. What the fuck? If I don't like to get, let's say some people are like, I like to have sex with horses. Okay? Like,
That's not okay, but okay.
But I'm saying, okay, cool. Don't tell me. Go ahead.
I think, dude, Bill Burr had that good reference about it. He's like, you don't understand. He's like, I saw 2 gay guys kissing, and I went, ugh. And he's like, my friend called me out, and I'd be like, you're homophobic. He's like, no, it's the same thing as if I see a fat guy eating. It's just gross to me to look at, right? It's like, I don't want you to have less rights. I just think that's gross. Why can't I have an opinion and be like, that's gross? Like, some straight people kissing is gross. When you're at the club, I'm like, that's disgusting. Like, why can't I see, like, because I put myself in every situation. I mean, granted, I'll kiss a dude, but I think 2 dudes making out, it's a little gross.
How about this? If I told gay dudes that do that, and be like, yo, do you want to eat some khalidiyats? They go, ew, that's nasty. Meat jello?
That's my culture.
But I like it, though.
That's my culture.
So what the fuck? So what does that mean? I like khalidiyats. Why would you say ew? I don't like when you say ew. I like that food. Same thing with you. If you're like, yo, that shit's nasty, Val. No, fuck you, eat that. Cool. Make fun of me, but why can't they say nasty when I see something nasty? They're being nasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, why can't you just be nasty? And that's like, the whole identity politics where, like, you can't make fun of anyone because you can be a piece of shit and belong to a marginalized group. Like, and a lot of people hide their piece of shitness behind the group to allow themselves to continue to be assholes, right? Like, if I say this trans person is an annoying fucking they'll be like, oh, you hate trans people. I'm like, I'm not even looking at the trans part. I'm literally just looking at the asshole part. I don't care what you look like. It doesn't matter. There's straight people that I hate. Actually, that's the thing. I hate more straight people than I would ever hate any trans people. Because most of my life is straight people, and I can't stand these pieces of shit.
And they annoy you.
They annoy me. Like, that's where, like,
I feel you, brother. Trust me. I'm with you all the way with this shit. Like, I couldn't agree with more than anything that you've said. My issue is like, how the fuck do we solve a lot of it? I don't even want to solve it. I just want to be left alone when I judge it. Why can't I judge it without being left alone?
I think social media, we discuss this all the time, is like social media just gives voices to people to everyone. And while that is awesome, right? A lot of people have created careers out of nothing and they don't have to work in factories now and people are becoming millionaires from just social media. And that's great. That's great. That's honestly kind of breaking the whole cycle we said of why do I got to work for 50 years, pay taxes, and is this the whole point of life, right? So social media helped break that a little bit, but also it just made everybody an expert. No one's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm too dumb for this. I'll sit back and learn.
Yeah,
everybody's right.
That's the problem. Is that like, well, why do you have such a strong opinion and you're allowed to have it? Because I watched Fox News all day. Because I watched CNN all day. I said that does not credit you to do any of that. So if we're gonna use that as a credibility source, I don't know, man.
Dude, you're also just playing telephone. Like that's just you being like, I heard this, and you're like, that's not it. That's why I don't really talk politics with like you and I will bullshit about this, but like outside of like us, like I have no desire to discuss because we're not in control. It's like discussing religion. I'm like, none of this is going to change your opinion or my opinion.
Correct. It's just preference, and it's cool. Have a preference. That's fine as long as we are okay at disagreeing at each other's preference and making fun of it. I'll be happy.
Do you know
if we're okay with that, then I'm cool.
Do you know what's funny? I was watching. So this is the same movie that I was telling you about with the serial killer shit. It's Copycat. It's on Netflix. It's from 1995, and it's so funny, dude. There's two cops, a guy and a woman, and they're trying to solve the serial killer shit that's happening. And there's another cop who doesn't like the male cop because the female cop was his ex, and he's like, oh, like now you work with her. I miss my ex, and this guy's probably trying to fuck my ex, right? The two cops that are the partners, and they're working late. And he comes back in to the room and he's like, I got sushi. This is 1995. And the other miserable cop is like, you gonna kiss your mom on the mouth after eating that garbage? And you're like, damn, like that's how they thought about sushi back then. Now, it's literally like the biggest thing on the planet.
Sushi is literally known in African villages, probably. They know about sushi. And back in the day, eating raw fish on rice was like, yo, you're poor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they said, they're like, oh, look, sushi's a Japanese invention. They're like, nah, it's actually Jews that invented sushi because they stood around and went like, how do we open a restaurant with no kitchen?
Bro, this kind of conversation that makes me think of this. So Tim Dillon, obviously you know who that is, uploaded a post and he said, we used to be a proper country, and it was like this. It was just boom. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Swipe through all of them.
Boom. 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 We really used to have the vibes. This was the vibes.
And none of these shows and people divided us. Now you put out a show, people are like, oh, what's this?
This was the vibe.
It's too woke.
This is what I was watching, and I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could be here. Like, I want to be part of this.
I mean, that's a whole nostalgia factor, too. But have you seen this Sabrina Carpenter album cover that she's getting shit for?
No.
It's kind of dope. I always respect an artist, like a chick that goes like, I'm going to be a hoe, because it's...
Well, she said her statement was that I'm a 25-year-old and I'm doing what 25-year-olds do. That's what she said.
Right, but this album cover is so great. Did you see it?
No, let me see.
Dude, you're going to be like, I cannot... I mean, it's sex sells. Like a guy pulling her by the hair, she's on her knees. Like, dude, like that's... What you don't understand marketing-wise.
That's cool.
That makes me want to be like, yo, I'm going to go like Google her, jerk off to her more. Like she's a sex symbol. She's only building her SEO with this.
Yeah. And bro, if this is what she's into, that's good.
What are you to shame her for?
Don't judge, baby. Just plunge.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. Don't judge, just plunge. Okay?
Yeah. Trust me, people talking shit like Sabrina Carpenter, like you're a... Forget it. I had a joke and it left.
This is sometimes when I talk to my girl, she's like, can you believe this? Can you believe that? And I'm like, yo, it's really crazy. You're right. But I'm like, yo, learn to not judge it, because at the end of the day,
you're not her.
You're not the person, and not only that, but the more accepting you are of it, the less bothered you'll be. And also it builds confidence, because it's like, yo, if as long as you're certain of who you are, you don't gotta worry about the rest. Baby, like let them be.
It's hard.
You know what
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's hard. It's harder as a woman because women are judged way differently than men in the media. So, she got the backlash. You got to be strong enough to take the backlash. Some people aren't, like Britney Spears. It's a fucking psychopath, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. And also, women are emotionally a little more fragile than we are. We can
Yeah.
handle more.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, look at our current presidency. Like, talk about immature men dealing with life with their. We're going to go to war because of Kamala's emotions. We're literally going to war because of the fucking Netanyahu's, Trump's, and every other politician's emotions. Right? Like, you tell me those men who are like squealing at each other on Twitter. We have like senators like writing, like posting memes. Like, dude, this is such bitch behavior.
I mean, that's what social media is requiring, because for them to, these people in power, they're trying to reason with the young generation. They're trying to reason with the guys that watch Nut Boys and all these people. So for them to stay relevant and to be taken serious, they're like, oh, I guess I got to upload memes now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So they're emotionally unstable human beings.
And that just shows that we should gridlock social media just like the stock market. The shit got to turn off at 5 p.m.
I would like to see a female president. At this point, I'm like, let's go. Let's see what that can do. Dude, maybe next time we could do like a dog can run this country, and just like it just walks to, you put one bill in front of it from the Democrats, one bill in front of it from the Republicans, and whichever bill it shits on, you're like, that's what we're going with. That would probably lead to a more fair country. Imagine we just went on autopilot with like some fucking parakeet picking our nation's decisions.
Bro, we are fucking fucked, bro. That's what we are. I personally think the solution at this point is just borrow as much money as I can from the bank, leverage everything,
and
take all that cash, and get deported to Greece and just live in Greece. Get myself a little shack, a little ATV, and just every day till for 20 years, leave me there. Whatever happens, happens.
It's
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm all game. I'm all game about the life plan.
I think that's not bad. And just all right.
That was like therapy. I was like, I got that off.
So look, today was a little giggly in the beginning, then we got a little serious, and then a little relatable, and then we brought it back to giggles, and now we just kind of sighed, reeled it back in. Guys, don't forget to jerk off, because the only way to get your frustration out in this kind of economy, in this kind of state of the union, is to release frustration. So please use the promo code ALFBANG on bang.com and enjoy yourself. Just jerk it.
Jack it. Think of me.
Dude, whatever we're seeing, doom scrolling, everything is a lot of frustration. Please get it out on bang.com. Promo code ALFBANG. Thank you guys very, very much. It's very, very important.
Love you. We'll see you next week.